The NWA. It was quite a big deal back in the day, and there's been quite a few significant NWA champions. Bruno Sammartino, Buddy Rogers, Hardy Race, Rob Conway, Dusty Rhodes, all the greats. And as a lifelong wrestling fan myself, I love pretending that I've ever watched old school NWA matches. Have I ever seen a Hardy Race match? Have I? Fuck. I watch SmackDown, AEW, and this one video of Billy Kay screaming, "Hey Kayla," for 10 hours every week, so I don't actually have the time to watch it. But whenever people talk about old NWA, I always feel the need to say, oh yeah, Tully Blanchard versus Magnum Ta. What a banger. Just to fit in with all the outlads. But did you know that I actually watch NWA in 2021? I actually do. And today's NWA gets a fair amount of shit because it's just Nick Aldis sucking himself off for half an hour before your favourite character from SmackDown vs. Raw 07 comes out and interrupts him, with a small number of 3-minute matches mixed in for a laugh. And while that may not sound appealing to everyone, here's why I watch the NWA, alright? Melina, JTG, well that's it. But if that didn't sell you on watching a wrestling show, then I don't really know what will, to be honest. They also used to have Addison Kay, Eddie Kingston, Ricky Starks, and a load of really interesting characters, and that's how I started watching, but they all left. But I'm here to ask the question, if we gave Billy Corgan $1 billion to spend only on the NWA, could he make the NWA the #1 wrestling promotion in the world before the end of the year? Right, let's begin. Of course, this is an experiment we're carrying out on TEW, and in this TEW data in particular, we're able to use Mr. Blobby as our character, so that's pretty cool. So the first thing he does is form a new tag team between Crimson from TNA, if you remember Crimson, and Sal Rinauro. Then Crimson gets injured and Sal Rinauro is caught in possession of drugs. But that doesn't stop the NWA from drawing 100 fans, and apparently Chris Masters is said to be the star of the show. That's also more fans than Impact, apparently. And Billy Corgan has immediately gone in and made his first signing with his new money, and weirdly enough, it's one that I can actually imagine. Already there's an increase in fans, so things are going pretty well, but he's decided that the best use for Bray Wyatt is to stick him in a tag team with Chris Masters called The Hooligans, and they are now the tag team champions. WWE, meanwhile, obviously they're competing with NWA, so keep an eye on what they're doing. They've brought back 2 former wrestlers. One I can actually see happening within the next year or so, and the other, hopefully never. Elijah Burke is out because he just got an undisclosed illness during a global pandemic. That's never a good sign. Strictly Business has come to an end. Mick Foley has joined GCW, and I feel like that's worth pointing out. He's on the market. Billy Corgan can make a move for him. Apparently he can still go. Bryan Danielson has joined WWE. That's quite a depressing thing to read. Jack Stane and Marche Rocket have formed a tag team. Jack Stane was caught in possession of drugs. And apparently Tyrus is on steroids. Aaron Stevens is now scrapping with Paul London. Lufisto is set to retire, and Billy Corgan didn't make a move to sign her, so that's incredibly disappointing. Aaron Stevens got injured. I can only assume that his undisclosed shoulder injury is from Paul London stabbing him. Rob Van Dam has announced his retirement, and now I'm considering restarting the game. Matt Cross is out injured, and he's one of their best wrestlers. Triple H has won the championship in WWE, so that's going to be difficult to compete with. Unfortunately, we open up month 2 with some very bad news. Sky 1 is closing down. The channel of my childhood where I got to see the wonderful Todd Grisham.
TNA sucks, says someone. That's good.
Host WWE Experience on the same channel as Brainiac and The Simpsons, sponsored by Domino's Pizza at 6 o'clock, so the NWA won't be making a TV deal over there. In better news, I found a way of looking at all the results from shows that Billy Corgan has been booking to see what specifically he's doing with this $1 billion, such as a confrontation between Jordan Clearwater and Tim Storm. Has he used any of the money I've given him? Oh, fuck, Melina's injured. Right, everything is absolutely fucked. And Matthew Mims is injured as well, so that's bad too, I suppose. Tim Storm has defeated Tyrus. $1 billion I've given you, Billy. $1 billion. You can do anything you want with that money. The Blade is now apparently going to be on the market, so that's something. Thunder Rosa, if he doesn't extend Thunder Rosa's contract, I might actually end the game. The Hooligans are apparently going to be in the next major storyline in NWA, but the one thing I love about this game is the really shit tag team names. Like, what? Why have you called yourself Team Storm when we already have a Tim Storm? And there isn't even a single Storm in this team. There's no Tim Storm, no James Storm, Nikki Storm, Tony Storm, nothing whatsoever. There was no reason for you to call yourself that. The Degenerates. I wonder where that name came from. We don't have any factions yet, but I feel like if we were to have a faction, it'd be called the Gun Club or the Ammunition Club or something along those lines. Tim Storm is unfortunately out injured. This is Tim Storm, not to be confused with Team Storm, which is obviously a very confusing thing that can happen now. Ace Austin, his contract's coming up to an end, and I'd like to use this moment to say that Ace Austin would be an excellent signing. He is incredibly underrated. I'm a big fan of his work in Impact and AAW and places like that, but I guess I can just go fuck myself. Serena Deeb was apparently the MVP of our latest show, and Slapjack, unfortunately he's extending his contract with WWE. That's a shame. We really missed out on that. Who the fuck is that? The NWA is expanding and apparently is looking to bring in some more names, so we'll see who Billy Corgan's going to bring in with our money. Jordan Clearwater is injured. That is a major blow. I don't know who that is. Marche Rocket is apparently on steroids, and the wrestling world is coming to an end. Impact and AEW aren't friends anymore, and Chris Masters has been injured. On my loading screen, I do see Joe E. Legend. Fun fact, I used to have a Joe E. Legend poster signed on my wall for years growing up, and that's not a joke. He was on an AWR show in Dublin, and I got a signed poster off him, put it up my wall back home, and I still don't know who he is. Tim Storm and Team Storm, they've finally done it. They've teamed up. They've given the fans what they want. And Billy Corgan's first signing under this expansion has been revealed. It is Dax Harwood. Not FTR together, just Dax Harwood on his own. The lad whose surname is genuinely, unironically Seaman has taken over NXT, and NXT has broken away from WWE. Impact apparently had a really good show, but it also says the star of the show was TJP, so I don't know how true that is. Billy Corgan has made another signing. I've given you $1 billion. Trevor Murdock and Tyrus are a tag team. Caleb Conley, that's the big $1 billion name Billy Corgan's decided to bring in. Cool. Joe Koff has decided to retire. More like Jack Koff. Am I right? Comedy gold on this channel. It really, really is. Steve Macklin is the next big NWA signing, and he's injured. Velvet Sky gets an extension at Ring of Honor and then goes on a rant about how much she hates Ring of Honor. Genocide has been caught in possession of soft drugs, and I'm not gonna lie, this made me laugh quite a bit because of her name. Genocide? Like, she just looked at it and went, you know that thing when ethnic groups are massacred with the sole aim of wiping them off the face of the earth? It's like that, except my name is Jenna. Do you get the pun? What? Who's our tag partner? Holly Cost. Caleb Conley and Steve Macklin have teamed up, and they're calling themselves the Raiders. I wonder where they got that name from. JTG is now injured, so we've lost Melina, we've lost JTG. This is the worst $1 billion investment I've ever made. On the plus side, Tim Storm has recovered from his injury, and he looks ecstatic. Oh, but they're letting him go. Okay. Odinson wins the TV title, and again, I don't know who that is, but with facial hair like that, I'm going to assume it's a good thing. And Hyperstreak has been injured. You may not know who this man is. All I'm going to do is say that this man is an absolute fucking legend, and this is honestly the worst news we've received so far. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford are divorced. Finn Balor got released by WWE. Jim Cornette is the CEO of Ring of Honor. And the NWA have signed Andrade El Idolo. You might think that's a good signing on the surface of it, but when you see the deal that Billy Corgan has missed out on, he's dropped the fucking ball. There's going to be a new storyline between Nick Aldis and Bray Wyatt that 6 to 9 months. On the plus side, there is a new leader for the best friends in AEW, and it's exactly who you thought it was going to be. The NWA has a new champion, or so I thought. It's actually the national title. Nick Aldis still hasn't lost the world title in this save. The Not Viking Raiders have won the championship, so that's good for them. Impact are planning a new storyline between Doc Gallows and Black Tyrus. So that's what we're competing with here. It's high level shit. In more good news, it turns out that NWA is not the only place with really bad tag team names. Tyrus has been given an extension. Billy. It's $1 billion. Chris Jericho has been loaned to the NWA at 90 years of age, and the commentator is on steroids. Okay, we have reached the end of the year. Here are the end of year awards, and we have actually won one of them, and that's all thanks to our man Jordan Clearwater winning Young Wrestler of the Year. Good man, Jordan. Never doubted you for a fucking second. This is the Clearwater crew right here on this channel, 100%. But it's the end of the year, and the NWA is nowhere near the #1 promotion in the world. I gave this man $1 billion, and he has left me bamboozled, burned, conned, deceived, duped, finessed, hoodwinked, overcharged, swindled, tricked, and fucking ripped off. So I must now devise a plan to get my $1 million back. And lads, I have the perfect plan. We are going to set up our very own wrestling promotion, and we are going to compete with the NWA until Billy Corgan gives us our money back. I've noticed you can do it on easy, which gives you $100,000. It's not quite our billion, but we'll take it. We've given it a solid name, and the first thing we need to do is start with an absolute blockbuster of a show. And I have the name planned and everything. I think this is going to be a massive success, right? Because hear me out. This is the show that I'm going to put on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get Melina to come out, and she's going to say, "Give Keane back his money, you stupid cunt." And then everyone's going to be like, wow, Billy's such a dickhead and Corporate Keane is very cool. And then she's going to take a crazy bump for dramatic effect to get people on our side. And then I'm going to bring in Eric Redbeard, and he's going to beat Nick Aldis in 40 seconds. And people will be like, wow, NWA wrestlers, like that the champion is bad, but Eric Rowan's really cool, and he's wrestling for Keane and not the NWA. And we're going to pressure Billy Corgan into giving us the money through fan pressure. And anyway, here's how the show went. The Melina segment, there was a bit of problems with it, admittedly. Eric Redbeard and Nick Aldis got 5 stars. I think the rating's out of 100 though. But and we also got Alex Riley to shoot on the NWA. So he did that. I don't think we're getting our money back.